Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be looking at a 3000 behavior score player. This is ROTK Gaming, aka GameLeap Enjoyer, who submitted a game to me saying, "Hello Speed." Actually, I want to quickly skip to one of the lines that I thought was pretty funny. But he said, "My teammates were being very toxic, which is normal considering I'm 3000 behavior score." That is crazy low. I've heard really bad stories of this bracket, like really bad. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. But he said, "They kept on blaming me for every mistake I made as if they played perfect." So today, we're hopefully gonna be able to look at a game and kind of just talk about what happens when you're just getting flamed like crazy. What do you do? How do you respond? This is gonna be a good game as well because he went 9-6 with 20 assists, got very active around the map, managed to come back after a very bad laning stage, an 0-4 start, recovers his game, turns it around, and nonetheless wins the game. So without further ado, let's move into it and talk about what he could have done better and read his message. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like literally with the GameLeap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the GameLeap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below, I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. Alright, so he said, "I got crushed in lane going 0-4 in the laning stage. It really felt like I wasn't able to do much and felt hopeless for a second. Also my Zeus was sort of griefing me by taking my creeps at a certain point. I left the lane because of it, and quickly came back and started feeding again. After the laning stage finished, I felt like I did a good job coming back into the game considering I was pause 3 and managing to finish the game with a score of 9-6. What could I have done better in the laning stage to not feed this badly? I made a couple of bad stunts on the Slark while he was queued, which was, I felt like, the reason why I was feeding hard in lane. Okay, that could be part of it, but usually there's kind of a bigger reason. What could I have done better in the laning stage? Was my target priority correct in fights? Also, don't hesitate to absolutely rage at me for every little mistake I made because I do care about them and I'm looking to improve." All right, I respect that, man. All right, let's get into it. I like when people say that type of stuff because then I don't have to be afraid of, getting on their bad side. But either way, let's move into the laning stage. So this is definitely a bit of a tough lane. Bloodlust Slark is absolutely a major problem for DK. And the only thing I would even say right off the bat is this is probably a better lane, especially considering you have a Zeus to secure the range creep, to actually take your stun, because you could use it against Slark to get free range creep denies, or even stun the Ogre Magi when he goes in between you and the Zeus. So either way, decent start on the creep aggro. Unfortunately, Zeus is not in the lane, so you're going to get run out a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. And honestly, as I quickly look through the first minute of your game, really the biggest problem comes here. Number one, you have Breathe Fire, which I talked about. The reason why Breathe Fire is a very risky ability, it can be good, but the reason why it's risky is when you use it, you essentially make every single creep hit for very little damage because you reduce all their damage. So naturally you shove in the wave, which can be okay if that's what you're doing. But the problem here is that you're not shoving in the wave and you only have 2 armor. Like, people play DK super wrong. They think your hero is incredibly tanky in the early levels. He's not. He doesn't have that great of base regen at 3. It's pretty mediocre. And then he has 2 armor, which is extremely low. Right, so DK is really not a tanky hero. You're very fast at 310 movement speed, but for instance right here, like, you're not in a position to get aggressive. Right? Can you trade with Ogre? Like, sure. But what you're about to do here is just casually go for a CS, and this is simply just bad gameplay. And by the way, I think I forgot to mention, but this game is around Legend 1, which is about 3k MMR. Essentially though, what I'm saying is when the wave is shoving into you like this, you can't get caught. The Slark is currently at a level advantage, right? He is level 2. You are level 1, so you're at a level disadvantage and a severe creep wave disadvantage, and the enemy actually just makes a great kill attempt or harass attempt onto you here. You're tanking a bit of the wave, the Slark hits level 2, the Ogre hits level 2, and so you get bullied out a little bit. If you just had a little bit more discipline to pull creep aggro a couple more times, I honestly, like, what's funny is pros probably would have pulled creep aggro about 5 to 6 times at this point, just to help last it and to get the wave back, or even to try to deny the range creep. You've pulled aggro maybe twice, and this is something I can't really just fully cover. Oh god. It's something I can't really fully cover right now. But on the note of feeding, same thing here. You're just weak to this lane. It is what it is. The only way you guys put pressure is when one of them separates and you can stun them, which is why, once again, I think you should have taken your stun and you just look for opportunities to stun someone who extends too far. That could be the Ogre or the Slark. You don't need to play aggressive though, and you should not play aggressive outside of this because of, obviously, Essence Shift. But here you just take a very, very bad 2v1 and you lose the majority of your health. On top of that, you've only bought one set of regen. It's like, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. You're gonna run out of HP. Dragon's Blood is just, it's not that much regen. Like, you're at 6 regen here, 7.1 with the Bracer, but it's simply not enough, right? Of course, you're gonna take the next point in your E at the next level. Zeus, he actually was taking your creeps. Oh, that's funny. But basically, the best piece of advice I could give you in this lane, wow, he's actually trying to take your creeps. That's tragic. Is to actually pull the lane back. Oh my gosh, I didn't think he would actually just be last hitting, man. I haven't seen this in so long where the support gets this mad. Damn, okay, wow. 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, he's stealing your creeps. But yeah, play defensive, pull creep aggro, and when people grief you like this, like, I'll be honest, guys, you really have to try to ignore them, which sounds insane. It's like, what? What do you mean ignore them? It's just, if you acknowledge what they're doing, if you start spam pinging them, they're gonna probably do it even more. That's kind of how human nature works. For some reason, like, when someone's being evil or like rude or toxic, if you acknowledge it, they generally keep doing it. So basically, the main issue with your lane is that this matchup is, it's not great at level 2, but oh my gosh, are you about to jungle? Oh god. The lane really wasn't that bad. Like, what I was about to say is, at some point, this matchup becomes pretty fine. Like, it becomes quite playable, especially if the lane pulls back like it is right now. It's a very playable lane. All you have to do to play these types of difficult lanes, like Slark, into DK, is just aggro. And I know I'm repeating myself at this point, but that's just how it is. Like, if he just, and I'll show you what I mean, right? So, for instance, you just need to not get 2v1, because the Slark isn't going to do that much to you, but if these heroes can get on top of you at the same time, that's where the damage comes from. So if this Ogre Magi sees you, right, and it starts walking up to you, you can't just act as if he doesn't exist, right? You tunnel vision so hard in this deny, and you're in a losing lane, and you're trying to deny. It's like, it's crazy, it's insane, right? It's actually insane. And you're gonna end up dying because of it, right? So basically, you might be like, oh, it's because I stunned him during his Q. Well, that is not good, and that was definitely a grief for you to stun him there. You would have lived otherwise. You also would live, and not only would you live, you need to prevent this kill attempt from the enemy altogether. And the way you do that, once again, just to go back one more time, is you have to wait for Ogre to leave. Okay, that, or you have to not miss so many CS, because the reality is you're just like a bit low on the CS, and so your items aren't that good. As a result, it's harder for you to trade. On top of that, your Zeus is obviously tilted or whatever. But this lane is not even going that bad. Like, the overall net worth is, frankly, not horrible. It's just whether or not you pull aggro enough. You've gotten caught too many times in between the Ogre and the Slark at the same time. And if you can prevent that, you're actually going to be golden, as well as focusing on CS. That'd be good too. All right, from there, I really like your gameplay. So we're skipping ahead a little bit to minute 12 here. He had a couple of engagements. None of them went well. Fortunately, he did just get a kill onto the Ogre, and the main thing that I like about his gameplay, other than his positioning here, which I'll quickly cover, is that he actually just stays in his lane. When you guys are having a bad game, like, I really mean this, just stay in your lane for the most part. Are there exceptions to this? Yeah. Maybe you're Mars and you're level 6 and the enemy dives your tier 1, and you happen to be respawning. Okay, TP. Right? TP mid, get that kill. But if you're playing something like Dragonite, which is a hero that desperately needs items and levels, you can't play DK from behind. It doesn't work. Even something like Mars from behind is just horrendous. You need gold on basically every Dota hero. And you want to get gold. It makes the game more fun too. So, generally you should just stay in your lane. Like, I'm so glad he just stayed in his lane. I'm totally fine with the max Q build, especially at this level. I think it's definitely the best build to go. And even though his last hits suck because he's just died so much and has been a little bit distracted, because he stays in his lane, his net worth really isn't going to be that bad. He's actually only 1,000 gold down on a Slark that is 4-2 with 5 assists. So it goes to show that if you just have the discipline to stay in your lane and shove it out, you're gonna snowball. Like even here, this TP is frankly bad. Like, is it gonna potentially work out because the enemy team sucks? Yes, and therefore you can TP in these games, right? You can TP in these games because Rangu AFG on the Magnus might decide to go in. Okay, his TP gets canceled. Thankfully, actually, because Johnny was on the case anyway. But really what you can do is even look to stay in your lane. Oh, that's a defusal on Slark. That's not good. But what you can do is look to stay in your lane and just take the tower. Of course, if there's a hero like Slark bullying you out, you just gotta wait till he pushes in the lane, or you could try to side pull. I was literally about to say that's actually so funny. I was about to say I think it's straight up good if you buy your shard. And the reason why I think it's straight up good if you buy your shard here is just because, like, even though the blink is important and it's kind of good to have this game, the nice thing about the shard is it's a really low cooldown for like such a great farming ability. So I would have liked to see you use it here even a bit earlier than you did, but this gameplay is straight up good, guys. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. If you're low MMR, like, you want to learn to show up to fights on your timings and then split the map off your timings, right? It's very important to like play your game around timings and understand when your hero is strong. And so him delaying blink and getting this earlier fireball is like, it's kind of good in my opinion because it also keeps him grounded into the good play style, which is like just taking this tower. Obviously, I wish he took this tower like 8 minutes earlier. Here would be an opportunity to look mid. Okay, his teammates are dead, so I'm glad he doesn't come. I think this is a great decision for him to stay out on the map, pop the soul ring, fireball the wave, shove it in. Good. Get to that level 11, working towards that blink dagger. Yeah, I don't mind this TP. Might be able to sneak the sniper kill. Oh, that was close. Okay, okay. Probably should have stunned the Slark there. A bit of a mistake. Honestly, this could have been a good engagement. Let's actually see what happens here. So I think you get RP'd. Yeah, you get RP'd, and it's very important that you just don't panic. You kind of just have to wait out the Slark queue and then go for a stun onto him here because he's the main damage threat. So this was pretty bad stun because if you stun Slark here and fireball, this could have been a decent engagement. I think you might die here. You got to get off your wand. Fireball. Nice. Okay. All right. You get out. Magnus overextends, and the fight ends. Not bad. All right. Next up, we're gonna see a beastly fight. So in terms of criticism here that I can give, I don't think there really was much. I think TPing in here was risky, frankly, considering it's definitely a numbers disadvantage. But whether or not you knew this, Slark didn't have ult. I feel like maybe you didn't know, but Slark didn't have ult. And as a result, it's actually very dangerous for him to go in. On top of that, this is one of those fights where it's under a tower, so it's just so much more favorable than the other engagements. And yeah, you do a really good job of target priority here. Like, going on the Tiny was absolutely the right decision because it kept you in position, right? Going on the Tiny under the tier 1 keeps you in position. Going on Slark here to protect Zeus is fantastic. Maledict comes out, Slark ulties, you immediately shift focus onto this mag who I don't know. Rangu AFG on the Magnus, I don't know what's happening here. But he goes down and then chasing down the Slark knowing he's gonna be low for Maledict. And you guys pick up the kill, so a huge team fight. That was really beautiful. Extremely well played. Okay, next up, don't do this. Don't blink onto towers. Even though it's not gonna punish you here, just don't do this. Because if they TP, you wanna be able to blink out. Thankfully, it doesn't matter here, but yeah, just be careful. I would have also liked to see you fireball the creep wave before leaving, just for efficiency's sake, but it's okay. You run mid here. It's not bad. Do you see them? This is probably not a fight. Okay, great decision not to blink in there. Really good decision not to blink in there. The only thing I would like to see you be doing now is looking just to kind of sneak a camp. Like, you guys smoke, which is fine, and maybe you could look for a kill with Witch Doctor. Wow, what the heck is that guy doing? Okay. On top of that, you gotta, like, a big thing for me in Dota is how fast people do things, because it really makes a big difference. Like, the fact that this fireball doesn't come out before he gets stunned by Tiny is so bad, because you lose out on like 180 damage or 200 damage on Sniper. Like, you shouldn't be auto-attacking this guy. The combo is stun, fireball, right? Or fireball, stun, depending on the hero. You actually could have fireball first here. Either way, a little bit slow, which was a bit meh. I'm glad you don't overchase. Once again, I think, oh god, oh, maybe you're fine. You guys are pretty tanky. Oh, big stun on the Slark. He's gonna have to ult. He doesn't have ult. Okay. All right, no, but really, I will say, out of everything this game, your target priority is actually very good. I think going on the Sniper here was very reasonable. You know, considering you didn't know Tiny was necessarily there and Dusa was a bit slow. He also messed up a bit on the fireball. This could have been good. Like, I actually thought for a second this would have been a good engagement, but good decision to turn around here. Like, really good discipline not to overchase. Unfortunate RP, but finally a good stun onto the Slark. And yeah, I think you have a 21. Probably gonna live. Oh, oh, oh my gosh. Okay, and you get out. All right, so you decide to TP bottom. Once again, I don't love that you blink on waves, but that one's okay because they're probably not gonna try to kill you. Fireball. Only thing I would say here is you should be clearing this as fast as you can. You want to get off the map so you're harder to gank, and so you could just farm the next creeps. Like, I would have even been cool if you just breathe fired this, just to kind of clear it out. Same thing here. I don't know why you're not using your Q. You have full mana and a Soul Ring. Like, just use your Q. It's just inefficient. So that would be a big flame for me. Definitely fix that, because you could be basically completing this BKB. Like, once again, stop blinking on creep wave. Stop blinking on creep. I'm getting anxiety. You don't even know if they're... They literally could be here. You farmed here for the last, like, minute. They definitely could be trying to gank you. You're just YOLO. You don't care. I don't know. Whatever. Hey, use your Q here. That's good. This is what I'm talking about. You're dead. You're dead. That's what I mean. So when you're farming, you want to be as fast as you can and stop blinking. Like, if they bumped into you here, right? So you're about to break the smoke. You should assume they're coming. I guess they had a ward or whatever, but you could have blinked out here easily, right? This guy missed his stun by a long shot. Tiny is on some drugs. How did he miss his stun like that? I don't know, but he did. You could have blinked out, but it was on cooldown because you blinked to the large camp. So that's an easy fix that completely can save you or allow you to even farm more because you're so close to BKB if you could just stay alive. So I will say at some point in the game, you got to stop split pushing. So like here, I don't like that you're like shoving waves. It's not that it's that bad to shove waves. It's just that like you're on your timing. So what you want to do when you hit your timing, guys, is click on your teammates and say, are they close to another item? Because if they're not, you can go smoke. If your teammates are like, let's say this wind is close to BKB, why does she have an axe? Isn't that shit so bad now? Whatever. But if your teammates are close to an item, you can wait to go with them. This is insane. Oh my. You have no follow-up. Your Witch Doctor is not even close enough to you to follow it up. You are walking blind up a hill, my friend. This is some... what the? That guy just walked up to you. What am I watching? Ulti. Oh! Alright, that was just... I have no idea what to say. You should not be here with no vision, and you most certainly should not, in melee form, walk up to an ogre and then proceed not to stun him for like 2 seconds. I don't know what that was. I don't know how that worked out in your favor, but please don't do that. Don't do that. All right, I'm gonna go for a tower push here. Once again, you kind of got, I mean, even though this actually might work out because you're so farmed now, you got to be very careful about like looking at the map. Like, you just don't have the teammates to make this play. I mean, sometimes in Dota, you're so farmed where you can just YOLO around by yourself, but you just got to be aware that you don't have anyone here. Like, once again, you might be fine. Yeah, you're fine. But you kind of have, you wasted your BKB, obviously. Oh, gosh. So just be very careful about, like, baiting your team into these deep areas when you just don't have vision. Like, you had no information on the map and no follow-up. And you're just YOLOing in, so be very careful about these plays, guys. I actually can't take it. Dude, what is wrong with you, man? Why do you blink to farm? Surely, if your name on Discord is gameleap enjoyer. Like, come on. Your name is gameleap enjoyer. If you've watched gameleap videos, surely you know that this is one of the worst habits you could have. Stun him. Oh my. Either way, all right, let's move on. All right, we got 3 more minutes we're gonna watch in this game. Look like you're queuing up the AC, which is definitely great here against Sniper and Slark. A little bit of extra armor seems quite good. I think the Ags is fine. I'm personally a bit of a Ags hater on DK. I think it's overrated, but I'm fine with it. I'm okay. The free pathing's good. I think your positioning here is a bit risky. Sniper can poke you without having to put himself in danger, but all right, I'm going for a bit of high ground push. Reset. You could actually look to go in here. Okay, once again, kind of wasting your blink as you circle the Roshan. I love that. You guys know I love the Roshan call. This is a gamely play. Come on, this is a gamely play. You got to be a little bit careful. The enemy team could be coming. They actually scan. I would like to see you. Okay, so you see them coming now. I would like to see you ulti and be ready with your positioning. You are the blink initiator here, so I actually probably wouldn't tank Rosh just to make sure I could actually initiate the fight. Why is Deuce a tank in the gank? Doesn't matter. Fight breaks out. I actually kind of like that you Q the Slark there to reduce his damage. He didn't purge it. The only thing is you have to be careful about him purging it, but he didn't purge it, so he's actually hitting for like literally nothing. This Slark is hitting for 150 damage, less. 140 damage, 36 minutes into the game. Breathe Fire with the talent is actually a broken ability if they can't dispel it, which Slark definitely can, but he didn't. Either way, yeah, I would have liked to see you kite out. Once again, just kind of a low skill approach to the fight. I'm gonna keep it real. You have Ags, like you should be using your ulti and going out the left side of the pit, because if there was an RP or an avalanche, you would be caught by it and the fight could be bad. So you should be positioning away from your teammates. This is very bad that you just like walk this way. I guess he didn't have RP or something. I don't know. But yeah, this fight's gonna seemingly work out regardless of what you do. Good jump onto the sniper. I'm cool with that, you know. I think the only thing I would criticize is if you jumped sniper and you had no follow-up. Like, because your build doesn't solo kill sniper, right? So a lot of DKs will make the mistake of only jumping sniper because they think, oh, I have to jump sniper, when their team can't even follow it up, and then it's just not even a good play. So just as long as you're careful about that, I would say great gameplay, but good recovery in this game. I'm glad you stayed in your lane and really focused on getting that tier 1 tower, not overforcing fights where you were poor. I think that is a big mistake, big issue a lot of players have. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.